Welcome back, everyone. This is Aviator with Aviator Games, and today I bring you part 6 of my RPG tutorial series for Gdevelop 5. So, in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a simple questing system, and also I'm going to have a little quick tip for you. So, first with the tip, it's actually be a great idea to have one or several of these little debug text objects right here. Let me give you an example. Let's say the skeleton, he's supposed to do something, and as soon as he does that, it's supposed to set this variable to equal true, false, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Well, if you set this up to display that variable, and that doesn't change, well, you know, okay, well, something's happening with that variable and that collision, so you're not going and hunting around elsewhere to try to find out, okay, why is it not doing this? So save you a lot of time. So basically, we're going to be doing a lot of variable manipulation and text manipulation. So we've already done that in past videos, so we won't go too much in detail, but I'll tell you why, or why I did stuff, and just go through all the code. So try to keep this kind of short. All my other videos are kind of pretty long. So all right, well, that being said, let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so we start off by creating our little text background. Like I said, I already created all this stuff. We got these 3 buttons. This is going to be the yes, no, close, and then we have the dialogue text right here. Okay, and then let's go ahead and jump over to the events. And as you can see, I went ahead and created Swampy's little group, the dialogue group, and the wizard group. So let's go ahead and start right here. So at the beginning of the scene, we want to create several scene variables. The first 2 right here, the wizard talking and the wizard dialogue. The wizard talking, that's going to be when we click on the wizard, that's going to say, okay, we're talking. You're talking to the wizard. So if you have other characters, you would make another one and call it like the farmer talking, or such and such is talking. So you always know who is talking, okay, or who you are talking to. Set that to 0. Wizard dialogue. This is going to be used to keep track of what is being said. And we set that to 0. And then these 2, the wizard quest accepted and the wizard quest completed. Instead of using the value of a variable, I want to change it up a little bit and show you how it looks when we use a string of a variable. And so we want to set that to equal false. And so once again, you want to make sure you have those little quotation marks, and do that for both of these. And then next, we want to hide all these objects: the dialogue text, red button, close button, and the green button. We want to make sure all that is not visible at first. Okay, and then we come down to these ones. Now, if the wizard talking equals 1, meaning that we are talking to the wizard, we want to show that dialogue text. Now, if that equals 0, we want to hide that dialogue text. So for right now, let's go ahead and skip over this and move on down to wizard, because we're gonna come back up here in a second. Okay, first things first, we want to get within a certain amount of distance before we're able to talk to the wizard. So we come here when we are within, or I'm sorry, below 15 pixels of the wizard, and we are the cursor is on the wizard and the left mouse button is down. We want to add 1 to the wizard talking variable. So right now it's at 0. We add 1. Now it's at 1. Okay. Then we do a sub event. We come right here. Let's open this up right here. Then we want to ask, okay, is wizard quest completed equals false? Meaning that did we already complete it? Because we don't want to have the player, go through this again. I mean, then again, you can, but for our example, we don't want that. So we're checking to see if we already completed, and we're checking to see if it's equal to false, that we have not completed it. And if that's true, we come here, and then we ask, okay, did we accept the quest, or do we already accept it? If it equals false, we come down here and we check, okay, now does the wizard dialog equals 0? So if this equals false and the wizard dialog equals 0, we want to add 1 to the wizard dialog. So now we get out of here and we pop up to this section. So now the wizard is talking, because we just said it. We added 1 to wizard talking, and we just added 1 to the wizard dialogue. So since these are true, we come over here and we do all this. We set the dialogue text to this. Hello, young warrior. Are you ready for an adventure? And we want to show the red button and the green button. So now let's go ahead and look at the green button and the red button. So the first one, the green button. So he just asked us if we want to do an adventure, and we now see the red button and green button. Actually, let me go ahead and run it. Okay, and walk over to him. Click on it. So we have the green button and the red button. As you can see, it says, "Hello, young warrior. Are you ready for an adventure?" So let's go ahead and just make that a little smaller and leave it running for right now. Okay, so the green button, and we have a couple of the green buttons right here. So for right now, we want to check, okay, we're touching the green button. The green button is visible. We want to check for this, because if it's invisible, we don't want to click on it while it's invisible and be doing all this stuff. So if it's not visible, it won't do this. Okay. Then the left mouse button is down, and that wizard dialog is equal to 1. So it's saying this right here. All right. And then we only want to trigger this once. And so if all this is true, we come over here. So the first thing we want to do is we want to set that wizard quest accepted to true. So when we press this button, this green button, we're accepting that quest. Okay? And then we're adding one more to that wizard dialog variable. We want to show the close button, and we want to hide the green button and the red button. So when we press that button, it's going to do all this. It's going to hide these, show this one. Okay? Now, if we hit the red button, okay, let's open that up. Okay, so same thing, but we're touching the red button. We're checking to see if the wizard is talking, which we are, and the wizard dialog equals 1, which it does. Then we do this. If we hit the red button, we want to set the wizard talking to 0, because we're no longer talking to him. And we want to set the wizard dialog back to 0. And then after that, we want to hide all those buttons. So let's go ahead and look at that real quick. Okay. And I'm dying. Alright, so let's start with the red button. So right now, I hit the red button, it hides everything. Okay, so now it sets everything back to 0 at this point. If the dialog equals 1, and we hit that red button, it just resets everything back to 0 and hides everything. So when we hit the wizard again, it pops right back up. I hit red again, just a loop. Okay, we haven't gone farther than this. All right, but if we hit the green button, good. Go to the cave and slay the beast, and it changes that text to this, and now it hides those the green and red button, and it shows the close button. So we close it. Okay, let's click on it again. Now it says, "Have you slayed the beast?" Okay, and it shows the two buttons. Now I won't have to explain this again. So now that dialogue equals 3. The I'm sorry, it equals 2. Let's see, 1, 2. I believe it's no, I can't remember. Here, let's go ahead and look at it real quick instead of trying to guess. Okay, so we just hit the close button right here. So it was visible. Wizard talking was 1, and the wizard dialogue equals 2. Trigger once. Okay, yeah. So we added one more. So yeah, it was 3. Okay. So all this was true. We want to set wizard talking to 0 because we're closing this. We're closing this out, so we're not talking to him no more. And then we're hiding everything, and then we're adding 1 to the wizard dialogue. All right. So we're done with this section. Now the dialogue equals 3, and then we want to come down to okay, yeah, right here. Like I said before, we're touching the red button. Then we came down. Yeah, we're touching the red button. The left mouse button is down. It's checking to see if the wizard is talking. Okay, which is true. And so, but we're not. The wizard dialogue doesn't equal 1 no more. It equals 3. So if since it doesn't equal 1, it bypasses this block, and then it skips this and comes down to this one. Then it checks to see if it equals 3, and then it does all this. It sets the wizard talking to 0 and hides those buttons, and that's all that button really is. You know, it's just hiding and setting the wizard talking back to 0. Okay. But as you can see the difference. If it was set to 1, this one resets the wizard dialogue back to 0. But this doesn't touch the dialogue. You know, you don't want to go all the way back to the dialogue, because then you'll mess that up. All right, so let's go ahead and close this because we won't be using that no more. All right, let's go back to the game. All right, so, and I believe I didn't set something up for this. I'll just explain to you in a little bit what I would do. So right now, actually no, I think yeah, okay, yeah, it's fine. So have you slayed the beast? Remember, this means yes, that means no. So right now, you haven't completed that quest, so this is not going to do anything for you. So the only thing you can do is close it. Open. Have you slayed the beast? No. Let's go and slay the beast. Okay. So let's minimize that and close. Got that one. Okay. So now we want to go and slay the beast. And so once we slay the beast, let's go right back up here. Okay. So we go up to Swampy. Once we kill him, his HP is less or equal to 0. We want to delete Swampy, and then we want to set the wizard quest completed to true. So let's go ahead and do that. Actually, let's kill these guys. Oh, well, first I have to get the sword, equip it, and kill these people. Kill these. Okay. It looks like that skeleton was able to get into the cave. Okay. I don't know if you can see Swampy right there too well, but there he is. So let's kill him. All right. Now, as you can see, this went to true. I set that debug this text, the debug text to let me know the value of that wizard completed uh, variable. So as you can see, it went from false to true. So let's go ahead and go back to the wizard. We're walking, 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 walking. Okay, and as you remember, when I tried to hit that green button before, it didn't let me do anything. Okay, so have you slayed the beast? Yes. Okay, so now it says you actually killed him. He was a harmless beast. I was only joking. Whoops. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So at that point, when we hit the green button, which was right here, we were at the wizard dialogue was at 3, and the wizard quest completed equal true. And so when all this uh, was correct, we just added one more to the wizard dialogue, which made it 4. Then we come back up here to this last little box, and then we ask, okay, does the wizard dialogue equal 4? And are you talking to the wizard? If so, we come over here, and you already seen it. It said this, and then it hid the green button and the red button, and that was the quest. So now let's give an example. Instead of going this route, uh, we we also added one more to, I say, the dialogue box, so it equals 5. And we changed this text to say, "Oh, great! Now I need you to go do something else for me. Uh, are you ready now?" And then just repeat the process. Like I said, you might want to write it down. How do you want things to progress first, and then put it up, put it on here to so you don't lose track of where you were, or mess up. But uh, you can make this very complex. I mean, it'd be nice if the if Florian would, or someone else who's working on it, can add like a quest condition, or like maybe an array, a 2D array, list array, where I remember I was using that with Gdevelop, or not Gdevelop, Game Maker Studio. They have the 2D or the 1D and 2D array, list array. um, I've seen Construct 2 has something like that, and man, that makes doing something like this so much simpler. But anyway, I'll go ahead and probably suggest that you can go to their forums. You can see what they're doing, what's being suggested. Actually, it's Trello. It's Trello and Gdevelop. You can Google that, and you can see where they're at and what's going to be added. So, but anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it, and if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. If you like it, hit the like button. And also, one more thing before after the next video, I think I want to go ahead and start doing a game jam, a custom game jam, and get you guys some more prizes. Probably the first one will be probably an ultra wide monitor, 29 or 34-inch ultra wide monitor. It's great for programming. That I've had one, but mine's broke, and now I have to do everything on my small little laptop, which is actually not so small. But anyway, it makes game development or any kind of development a lot easier when you can open up multiple windows. So uh, just keep an eye out for that, and I'll see you in the next video.